How did you come into contact with the defendant?
I was traveling, and so I just Googled nearest hairstylist. And so I went into her hair salon as a walk-in to see about getting my hair done.
Okay. Did you have a regular salon that you were usually seeing?
No, I've been wearing my hair natural for the last 3 to 4 years, not just a natural hair.
So this was just a complete stranger to you?
Correct. I made an appointment for October 5th.
And what did you want to have done?
I just asked her to just, look at my hair, see what type of style it could be put into, because I hadn't had a style done to my hair in many years.
You submitted some pictures of what your hair looked like before you went to her salon. Here's a picture of you here. So your hair was short?
Yes, it
Okay.
was.
Ms. Burns, is this pretty accurate in terms of what the plaintiff looked like?
It looks pretty short, but once I applied the relaxer, it was a lot longer.
Okay, so tell me about her coming in.
We did a consultation,
Okay.
Which is what I require for my first-time client. And she discussed that she had an event that she wanted to go to, and she wanted to look nice. So I was like, okay. And we discussed. Everything was consensual. I asked her, if you want the extensions, your hair needs to either be straight to apply them so that they blend well. She agreed to have the relaxer done on her. I said it was safe to do, seeing as though she suffered from traction alopecia, which is over time, the hair is pulled to where her hair is kind of sparse in certain areas of her head,
Okay.
which is why we wanted to apply the extensions.
Okay, so you knew that she had a condition.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
due to pulling, tension.
Ms. Robyn, how were you feeling when the relaxer was applied?
She had asked me how I was feeling, and I told her I was okay. But then, the tingling and everything started.
Okay.
So she did start wrenching it out.
You felt a little bit of tingling. Is that normal?
Yeah, that's normal.
So once you washed the relaxer out, Ms. Burns, you then did what to her?
I followed up the procedure. I conditioned with the remaining products here.
Okay.
Her hair was in a great state. It was nice and silky, pliable. She was happy, but it was very thin. So I explained to her to apply the extensions after that. Then I have a method to put the extensions on to protect that hair because she wasn't happy with how thin it was after we relaxed it.
So explain to me how you apply the extensions.
Well, first her hair was dried, which is when she went up under the dryer after being conditioned. I used a molding solution, a wrapping solution, which is in a foam form, and then I applied a cap on top, and then on top of the cap, I put a sealant solution on top of that. That way her hair, her scalp, everything is protected from extensions.
A sealant? You put that on top of a cap?
Yes.
And then how are the extensions applied to the cap?
Well, that solution is dried and it makes a shell, and then I can style on top of that.
And what are you doing? You sewing into it, clipping
No,
it?
I glue. I glue.
You're gluing the extensions
Yes.
to the cap?
Yes.
And this glue is not going to seep through this cap?
Nope.
Because of the products that you apply to the cap?
Because of the cap and the sealant that's on top, so I'm gluing on top of that sealant.
Ms. Robyn, were you aware that this was happening?
I was aware that she put some glue in my hair after, but I went to her shop never requesting extensions. I went in there for her to do my natural hair. She requested that she do the relaxer.
Okay, so you were okay with the relaxer, you were not okay with extensions.
I didn't know she was gonna do extensions.
I read your complaint. It kind of seemed like you were kind of oblivious to what was going on with your head.
No, I didn't know she was putting in weave.
I hate
She
to
never
interrupt her.
mentioned
She
it.
left with a full weave in her head because she
I
had
left,
Was she
but
aware, was
you
she aware
never-
that that's
She was aware. She agreed to everything. I don't do anything without consent.
No, that's not true.
That is very true.
She never
not a
said
bully.
she was giving me a weave.
Okay, let's just say that you got up and that's when you noticed you had
Yeah.
a lot of
very
hair.
beautiful style.
That's when I noticed
wasn't
I had a
yours.
full
Did you
head of
not
hair.
then say, okay, well, I didn't ask for this?
Yeah. Well, basically,
she paid for it.
Yeah,
Okay, hold on, ma'am.
I paid for it because it looked nice, but we never talked about giving me a weave. I just assumed she was gonna give me extensions to make my hair look fuller, because I've had that done before when someone pressed my hair.
But you nevertheless liked what it looked like at the end, and you paid for it, and you
I
left.
paid for it,
All right.
yes.
Was there anything that you instructed her to do after?
Yes, she
Okay.
was not supposed to keep that weave past 4 weeks. She came back November the 2nd, which she did comply with that. My recommendation. She came back. She still had the same weave on her head. No complaints, no itching, no irritation, nothing. And I removed it. Her hair was fine. I sat her back in front of the same big mirror, and she had her hair on her head.
Okay, I just need to really get into how this happened all of a sudden. She lost her hair.
I don't know how that happened, but when she left my salon, she had her hair. So whatever she did to do that, I don't know what that was.